What do we got? Friday, 9 a.m. Miss you a bunch. Can't believe it's been a month of not seeing everybody, basically. Today's April 17th. I believe our last day was somewhere in March 15th or March 16th, so basically a full month of no school. Uh, One of those weeks was spring break, so we wouldn't have had school anyways, but it's just really weird to know that we have not been in the classroom. Gotten some positive feedback from you, some of you enjoying watching the videos, or I've gotten some emails from people or drawings or notes, and that's real nice to see. And trust me, I miss you a bunch. Also, we did get some. So today's video will be a little bit longer than a couple minutes. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. With some good information and also some updates from your classmates. So today's video will be nice that you'll get to. I don't have any audio or video of other classmates, but they've been sharing what they did over spring break with me. In the writing. Excuse me. So I'll share with what I learned and found out what was going on with spring break with your classmates. I want to start. I have not been talking much about the coronavirus. You get it enough. All over the place. If it's on the TV, you might hear your parents talking about it. You might hear it here. You can't go there because of it. So, but I did want to mention that we're doing the right thing. That this is definitely working. The problem would be a lot worse had we all just stayed open and it would be very, very bad. So, and it's obvious to me that the social distancing and having to stay at home is working. We won't have to do it forever, but we have to do it until we know a safe way. We can come up with a good way of all being able to be together again. And ways that we do that are through more testing and also to find out that, because right now we don't know if you've ever had it or not. And if we know if people had it, they have a higher immunity or it's harder for them to get it again. And it also teaches us about the virus, and we can figure out what medicine and drugs to use on the virus to help. So the more we know about it every day is just a step in the right direction. But this is what we have to do for now. And something I want to mention: yesterday, the mayor of Las Vegas came out, and she's really upset. She demands Nevada coronavirus lockdown end. She wants everything to open back up. And number one, I'll just say I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay, and number two, everyone has their own personal agenda. Like, if I had 3 kids at home and needed to feed my 3 kids and I could not work and I wasn't getting enough money on unemployment, I'd want to go back to work. Now, on the flip side, I'd want to go back to work when it's safe to go back to work. Okay, and so I think that's important to remember. Finally, I'll end it with this with coronavirus. As of right now, if the movie theaters open tomorrow, would you and your family be willing to say, all right, I think it's cool and I'm not worried. I'm going to go to the movie theaters and get popcorn and drink and sit in my seats with a crowded movie theater? Would you feel comfortable? For instance, I have Raiders season tickets. I was really excited to that's super cool. I've been to maybe 10 football games my whole life, and now there's 8 games each season at Raider Stadium, and everyone knows I'm a huge Raider fan, and I grew up in the Bay Area, and I grew up in Los Angeles, and the Raiders played over there, and now they moved here, and I moved here, and I'm super excited, and September is supposed to be the first game, and I don't know. I highly doubt that stadium is going to be open for fans, and if it is, I don't know if I would go. I'd have to think about it. Testing would have had to get better. Things would have to look a little better for me to want to go hang out with 60,000 people inside that stadium. Okay, and so again, there's a point where if you need to feed your family, need the money, need to work. There's also a point where maybe you are a casino owner and you're super rich and you're being a little greedy because you're not making your millions of dollars anymore. So there is a balance. I understand the people that need money and need to work. I'm a little upset with people that are millionaires that just want things to reopen so they could keep making their millions. We have to do it safely. And if the casinos did open on the Strip tomorrow, would people travel and get on airplanes to come to Las Vegas, to come to the hotels and casinos? Probably not. So everything just has to take, it's unfortunately a slow course. But the positive sides, most of us are safe. Okay, most of us are very safe. There are things maybe you've heard, or you know someone that got sick, but for the most part, we are all very safe. We're all in our homes. There's not war going on, which past generations had to deal with outside their homes, or so it is sad. It is boring staying at home. I know for a lot of you that's the case, but I do think it's necessary. And again, I could be wrong. I'm not everything, but the doctors think it's necessary, and I'm just going to listen to the doctors. That being said, May 1st is still the time we're supposed to go back to school. Do I think it's going to get extended? I do, unfortunately. They have not come out and said that, and it's already April 17th. So we should be hearing news soon. Again, I'm wearing my ugly orange. I taught some kids in China this morning. And let's move on from this because we've heard about enough. Let's focus on some positive things. Let's listen to your classmates. So JC had a baby brother. The baby brother's 3 weeks old. JC had a real good time celebrating Easter with his family. So really happy to hear that. JC, you wrote such an amazing 5-paragraph essay. When we started the school year, JC was really struggled with writing. It was difficult for JC. I am impressed. You should be super proud of how much better and how much your writing has grown. So great job. Albie, you also wrote an excellent piece, and Albie's been jumping rope every day. That's real healthy for the mind. It's real healthy for your body. So happy to hear. He is also reading, writing, watching movies, and eating lots of food. Amir played a ton of PS4. He got a PlayStation 4, so over spring break he played a ton of Fortnite and tournaments. And he also played a game called The Last of Us. I don't know if you have to be a little older. That's okay, but I like The Last of Us a lot. I thought it was a great game. So I hope you're enjoying that one. And he also celebrated Easter. And I'm just going off what I was told in the spring break notes or in the essays. Ariana wrote me a nice note. That was really nice. And watching the videos, she's watching these videos, other videos on YouTube, hanging out with their family and playing Roblox, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to a lot of these things. Benicio played a lot of video games, board games with his family, watched YouTube, and again spent time with his family. Kenya played video games over spring break. I believe she got to see her dad over spring break and hung with the family. Jaden Jackson also hung with the family, played YouTube, ate a lot of good food. Zachary sent me a couple nice videos of what he did over spring break, which was practicing piano and his wind instruments, so that was pretty awesome. He also did some math and hung out with his family over spring break. And finally, Sumatra misses everyone a bunch, which I'm sure that's something everyone has sent me at some point, is you miss your friends, you miss your class, you miss your teacher, you miss hanging out with your friends that are maybe in different classes. I believe Sumatra said his good friend was from another class, so he misses everyone a bunch, and he got a Chromebook over spring break, so he's real happy about that. His mom was texting me about what type of Chromebook, and he also celebrated Easter and had a good Easter, so I'm real happy a lot of you got to have a nice Easter. You deserve it, and that's really a lot of you watching YouTube and playing games and watching movies. That's great. That's really, even it's not spring break anymore, we got to keep our mind off some things. I do think it's important that, like Albie's jumping rope, you can do that in the house. A jump rope costs $2 or $3. It's very inexpensive. And it's a great way to practice and get better and stay. It helps here, not only your body, right? It helps your mind. So that's where we're at. You remember, you can always be doing Prodigy. You can be doing Khan Academy. You should be reading, whether it's on the internet, a book, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, whatever you want to read, but you should be reading because you need to keep those skills moving. If you're writing, again, it's just going to help your skills moving. It's very obvious JC's doing work with how much, just great job. And typing, Nitro Race, be checking into Google Classroom, constantly have new stuff going on there. I think Mrs. Weigel's video's up there today for the garden, and it's the answer to the problem. Finally, the most exciting part probably for you of the video is what I'm going to do next week. So I'm going to take all the top finishers from this survey that you did, and we're going to match them up against each other. So it'll be, and you can only pick one. So it'll be Amulet versus whatever else. And you're going to pick one or the other, and that one will move on. And we'll probably have about 16 of these top ones. There was 32 to begin with, so we'll narrow it down to the top 16. And then, and from there, we'll narrow it down. You'll pick, and it'll be the final 8, the final 4. So what did well here in the favorite book, Amulet, you see got a ton of love. Drama was all over the place, Mr. Trupp. So that's how it goes. Some people like different things. How do I scroll over before I was able to? There it is. Okay. So you see, Ivan, a lot of people like, so that'll move on. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had love, so that'll probably move on. And then finally, of course, Harry Potter, maybe the most popular. That will be tough to beat. I don't blame you. Here we are on the websites. Nitro Type, Prodigy. I don't know how much time I have left to shoot this video, so I'm going to try to speed up. Typing.com might move on. Khan Academy was very even. Will not move on, but that's such an important website, and I understand it's maybe not your favorite, but it teaches you so much. Same with Read Theory. I'm not surprised those didn't win, but they are super important. They will definitely be in my class next year. Google Earth didn't do as hot as I thought it would. Google Docs and Slides, free writing. I enjoyed the slides and docs quite a bit. That'll probably move on. Give the day you like the most. Most of these will move on. Xmas, eating lunch with you, Valentine's, football, and maybe French fries with family. And then finally, give the activity you enjoyed the most. Economy day will move on. Debate week, I was happy to see up there. Probably math. So we'll just have to take the top 16. Definitely looks like Kahoot will make it, Google Slides project, and the auction. So I'm just going to go in there, figure out what the top 16 were, pair them up, and you'll just vote A or B, and it'll be obvious when you do it. That'll be for next week. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Friday. Do some math. Do some reading. Do some writing. Enjoy your family. Enjoy hanging out with your family. I was listening to the governor of New York, and he always used to tell his kid, I'm so busy. And so, a 2-minute phone conversation maybe. And now he's in a position where he has this longer period of time, and he's realizing that, you should never be too busy. And that's the wrong answer. And many times he would go with his mom. His mom would invite him for coffee. He'd say, okay. And then he would end up calling her, hey, I can't make it. I'm too busy. When really he should have been driving there to have, because now he can't go have drinks with his coffee with his mom because she is higher risk if she were to get COVID-19 or coronavirus, which is the same thing, that, it might make her real sick. So at this point, he can't go have coffee with her. And so that's one thing to think about is during this time is, yes, it allows us to spend more time with our family, and it allows us to slow down a little bit and focus on things that are maybe more important. So I miss you a bunch, and I hope to see you soon. And be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Be good for your parents, and I will talk with you soon.